Broadcasting, and this is the stadium. Welcome to the classic Sunday version of this program. It's 101 million capacity stadium that is second to none in the whole world. Are you wondering where we were yesterday? Did the stadium fail to reach your ears? Of course, like any other thing in sports, sometimes rain can slow a World Cup final, so they could have to like shift it by hours or sometimes. But of course, here it wasn't rain. Of course, we needed to fix new floodlights because of the size of this stadium, because the floodlights were becoming tiny. And the engineer, the agent that got the contract actually brought the lights from China. I know Chinese products are funny. So we needed to get original floodlights to fit the capacity of this stadium. We also needed to install the Hawkeye so that until the ball crosses the line before it's declared a goal. If not, there'll be controversies back and forth. And then we installed another device to detect offside so that clubs like Arsenal will stop winning at all costs. As you can hear, my name is Ted. I am not alone. I'm here with Buchi. Buchi, good evening and welcome to the stadium.
Yes, Ted. Always glad to be here.
How's been your Sunday?
Fantastic Sunday. You know, the stadium's looking good. It looks like, I think we can classify this as a Stadium 2.0. Right?
Okay, upgraded.
Upgraded.
Of course, we have our big brother here, Ibrahim Aminu, as usual. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you.
How's been your day?
It's my pleasure.
You're dressed in very, very loyal Nigerian colors.
Yes.
Always a Nigerian.
Yeah.
And of course, we have G1, the super reporter and analyst. So G1, welcome to the program.
It's my pleasure to.
I'm trying to pitch this jersey to a club, but I can't actually get the exact club side. G1, why are you not wearing the jersey of a club that we should actually know from distance?
This one is meant for human rights radio.
Sitting on the fence right there is G1. He doesn't want to commit himself to anything just in case. Of course, yesterday there were a lot of games we ought to have reported, but like we said, we need to actually do one or two technical things to make sure we give you the best, the very best, because we stand for nothing of lower quality. We've had that sorted out, and we're here again to give you the details. But we'll start from the world of tennis. Let me say, while in other parts of the world, maybe even in politics, in administration, older people, very old people are holding on to power as if the power elapses them, they will die or something. And by hook or by crook, some is during election, some is trying to stay 50 years in power, 100 years in power and all that. In the world of tennis, is something a little bit different. The old guys are trying to mentor the young ones to see that the game of tennis survives when their time is up and they leave. And that is what exactly we saw Roger Federer do. We might say he left the ATP Tour Finals being defeated by a guy 10 times younger than him. But of course, it was like it's like that was a deliberate move to allow somebody in the shape of Goffin step into the big shoes where he rightfully is trying to belong at the moment in time. Which do you see that as a political move by Federer to allow this guy come in because he had everything to have defeated Goffin?
I don't think so. I mean, I think he was just outplayed. This is Federer we're talking about. Federer is
but not Nadal actually.
No, Federer is a world-class player, and he just met his match. He met his, when they say he seemed to be unstoppable, yes. And when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, something has to give. This is the same Goffin who defeated Nadal in the same competition.
Yes.
This is the same Goffin who
when
was
Nadal retired out of injury. He played it.
Well, he said injury,
yes.
Like we said, technical injury.
Yeah.
But then Federer gave his all, and he met his match. I mean, that's how it is in the game. Sometimes you're just outplayed. It's he's played a phenomenal season. I did peg it for him to take this tour finals. Yeah. But it seems like it's being set up for Dimitrov and Goffin to play the finals.
The finals will be tonight. It's a massive game to watch. Federer's overall net worth is over $100 million, and Goffin just has like 4% of that. Is it up to that at all? Just
no, not even up to that. But then you have to also consider the fact that Federer has been a top player. I mean, he went pro in '98, and he's been within that top.
And Goffin only turned pro in 2009.
Yes, for the last 20 years he's been in it. He's won major competitions all around the world. So of course his net profit should be in that. And then also let's not forget sponsorship. Federer does have a face for sponsorship.
Yes, sponsors
are clamoring, fighting tooth and nail to just put this man's name, his signature on a piece of paper.
One of our ICT experts here, Daniel, said he would love to become that person in life when people are begging him to drink the drink they manufacture for them to pay. I told you, I said, Dan, keep praying and keep working hard. One day your dream will just come true. Because when he saw the endorsements of Federer's shares, he was like, Dan stopped eating. He was like, can you imagine? This company here, this one headband, wristband, this and that, this and that, this and that. And I say, Dan, just keep fighting one day together. But of course, Goffin has done a lot over the years. He has defeated big players like John Isner, Stan Wawrinka, Novak Djokovic, Rafa Nadal, Marin Cilic, Miroslav, Joe Wilfred Tsonga, the hard-fighting Tsonga, and then Dominic Thiem and Thomas Berdych as well. So it's not the first time that he's actually beaten such a big person. He was defeated by Federer in the French Open in 2012 in straight sets. And it was like, who is this kid? What are you trying to do around here?
Of course.
Among the big pros. But now he has made it to the top 8. The first Belgian ever in ATP rankings to cross that top 10. So it's like someone defeats you in one game, you don't just give up. Even in this game, he went down the first set.
He did.
6-2. Came back in the second set, 6-3, and then went all the way to make it 6-4 the last one.
Exactly.
Fighting out all giving out everything that he has. But he has a match with another tough person tonight. Somebody you have decided all of a sudden now that Federer is out. I know you're going to think.
No. To be honest, I won't. I think I'm still going to. I mean, Dimitrov is actually a very good player, but I'm going to. I did back Federer. Federer is out now. I'm going to put my money on Goffin.
Okay, your money is on Goffin.
My money is on Goffin.
You are of these two tennis players. Of course, I'm very sure you are very busy trying to follow what is happening in the Chan and all those stuff. But of these two players, you have followed a little bit of tennis. Would you think they're the same? They are age mates. They are both 26. But Dimitrov has been a stronger player than Goffin. Would you put your money on Goffin or on the?
I think we should consider their performance. Because should be one that will outstage Goffin.
Okay.
This will be the fact that he has been playing with top players, not players when it comes to arena, and I can see him is so resilient. Nature. It's somebody that doesn't give up. He likes fighting to the last minute, and if you should continue playing this way, by the time Federer and Nadal leave that stage, I think I can see someone like him taking over as number 1 or number 2 in some years to come. But tonight I'm giving it to Dimitrov.
Tonight you're giving it to Dimitrov. Uncle Ibrahim Minu, I know you are a man of many games. Sometimes you don't even know which game is your proficiency. But I know, of course, when you go to the stadium, any game that you see youngsters coming up, most times that's where your heart is driven to. And we have two youngsters. Let's say in the prime of their tennis life, they're both 26 and they've been playing amazingly in these ATP tours. To qualify to be among the best 8 in ATP men's tennis, playing the World Tour finals in London alone is massive. To qualify for that alone is massive. And these young guys, they hosted Rafa Nadal. Buchi believes he came there just to show face because he wasn't fit.
Yeah.
Roger has tactically left to go and rest and prepare for Australia Open. Buchi thinks he was outclassed. Do you think these guys will give us the match we're expecting tonight?
Yes, very well. Because the of them are
yes.
Goffin really daring to be one of the tennis after Rafael.
Sure. And his ranking is rising. He came up 12th, 10th. Now he's 8th.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if for qualifying for this finals alone, even if he doesn't
There's
win
still
it,
going to be a
the next
shakeup,
rankings
yes.
will go up.
Yeah. So I'm giving it.
Goffin is there. 2 against 2.
So let me now that he's standing with
Dimitrov.
I won't walk alone.
Buchi has a way of swinging where
I'm not swinging on this.
he swings when one ballot box has all been brought from across the river during
Is
elections.
it because I'm from Anambra State? Is that what? Are you trying to insinuate something?
No. You didn't go home to vote, so we're not talking about that. So don't complain about your state next time you hear that. Gentlemen, this is the Stadium on Human Rights Radio, 101.1 FM. Don't forget, we're not discussing politics, we're discussing sports. But of course, in our special and unique way of doing it, we're weaving sports into anything that happens on the surface of the earth. We'll take a very short break and we'll come back. We'll go into something that's happening in the world of handball. Our big uncle expert here in handball will give us details. Championships are going on here in Abuja, and you'll be surprised to know that handball is still alive, even though it is not at the level we expect it. And we'll keep reporting what is good from handball and what is bad until it gets to that level where Nigeria, our national anthem, will be sung at the highest podium in the world in the game of handball. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.
My name is Aminu Ibrahim, ex-international handball player. Keep listening to the dial 101.1 Human Rights Radio.
Yes, you're still tuned to the stadium on Human Rights Radio, 101.1 FM, redefining broadcasting. This 101 million capacity stadium, second to none in the world. You want to know? Come take a look. Show you. Follow us online, our social media platforms. You want to have a look at the stadium. In fact, you might end up winning a gift from Uncle Aminu Ibrahim if you can differentiate who is wearing which color, who is seated where, who is holding which microphone, who is speaking on which microphone. Go online and find out and let us know. Let's know if you know your stars in the studio. My name is Ted. Buchi is here. Yuan is here. Uncle Ibrahim is here. Before we went on the break, we were talking about ageless people in cases that don't want to leave space for the young ones, because that is also happening. It's elections are okay. I didn't say it. Some countries are holding their presidents to siege because they want them to step down. A lot of things happening. But in the world of sports, we believe that there should be fair play. The young ones should have a space. As a young person, you have to fight for that space. You really need to earn a spot. Okay, Ibrahim, we have been talking about grassroots developments in sports in Nigeria and focusing all our attention on football apart from other sports. But a lot is going on in other games. Of course, the handball championship just ended. You are going to talk about that later. There's going to be another one in Gabon in a couple of months. Yeah. But then they just concluded volleyball championship out in the continent, not in Nigeria, out in the country. How well did you? Of course, you have a lot of eyes in. Very sure, probably subsequently on the program, we might have somebody in. But to the state of volleyball in the national level, we went to the. How did you?
It's actually fortunate that we'll go up with 750 players. Minimum you can go to a major championship like that is 20.
Minimum of 20.
Minimum of 20.
So
because of injury and then other things. And we went with only 7 players.
7. So
Nigeria
where were
went
the 13? The country of 180 million. Where were the other 13 players?
Yeah, no money.
Gee.
There's no funds. That's the story every day. No funds, no fund, no fund.
I think I'm baffled by the ridiculousness. I mean, volleyball is played with at least 6 players.
Yes.
So we went only one reserve.
And that reserve happened to be the coach because they went without the coach. So she's a coach player.
Oh my God.
So we went with 6 players.
Oh my God.
And how do you expect us to win? This is the highest championship in every sport.
Yes.
Because after Nations Cup, it's World Cup.
Yes.
So if you don't qualify from the Nations Cup, how will you go to World Cup? Everybody use all his resources. All the players that you have around the world, you bring them back, come and play in the Nations Cup.
Do we even have female players in other leagues? I think we do.
I think we just have 1 or 2, and they were also part of the team that went. And they just went there and donated points.
Why did they come to Jabi? Why did they come to Jabi Lake? Jabi Lake on Saturday mornings to pick players there that you see amazing players there. Somebody's already on the line. I'm not giving out the number.
We brand these other sporting activities that we have. We have sponsors that will come in and pump in money, and I believe this athletes, like what we are saying, if you go to the nooks and corner of this Abuja alone, and you see better players sweating it out every day, they are ready to go.
Coach Johnny called on this program the other day to give us update on players that he has been picking around in, I think, gymnastics around Abuja from the ages of 4 to 12, just doing it on his own. Takes them to the stadium. At least he uses the public facility, which I hope he's not expected to pay. Picks these kids, just doing that as a way of giving back from what he
said. Yesterday, I was amazed when I went for training in the morning at the National Stadium. I went to the stadium, go and play squash, then later to play handball. I saw more than 50 children. 50. Anybody that goes to the stadium yesterday morning will tell you. On the handball court.
Okay.
The present president of Handball Federation of Nigeria, Sam Ocheho, made jerseys for children from the age of 5 years, and he shared it all over. When you go to the court, you think it's a tournament that is going on there. They were all dressed in that jersey, and they were being taught how to catch and pass handball. And people were there. They were very, very, happy.
Catching them young.
Yes.
As we have been
yes.
saying on this program.
Yes. So at this time, if we can get people like that with passion, not necessarily government, We don't have to expect government to do everything for us.
I think government has already expressed what they're willing to do in the state, especially with this volleyball team, female volleyball team going to represent the country on a national level, and went with 6 players
without a cook.
No, without
you
even
didn't hear that dimension. There was no cook.
There was no cook. There was no medical team. There was no physiotherapist. There was nobody. Are you telling me? So the girls will cook for themselves?
But when you don't have a coach, how can you have?
No. We have a coach / player. Apparently,
they will have a player
a coach. So you're shutting the number of the team.
Oh God!
So if any player gets injured, who plays?
Who plays? Who plays?
That's the problem.
What kind of?
And then what kind of medical attention does a player receive? Apart from the tournament organizers, if they are able to use a regular first aid to attend to the player, but what insurance do these players have traveling out of Nigeria to go and play?
We should have.
They come back with injuries and we abandon them. That's the end of the story.
I think maybe the best thing that should have happened to this team. I mean, no offense to the team, but we need to learn our. Maybe by the time the we went for a national competition, we obviously did not meet the rules and regulations with having the required number of players and staff on ground.
Yes.
We should have just been banned. You know what? You cannot participate because you do not qualify. You don't meet the rules. Maybe that will teach us the lesson so that we will get it to our heads and learn. But like Oga Aminu said, I think government has failed in this part.
But you rather than ban the team and tarnish the future of these beautiful athletes who sacrifice anything, don't forget that some of them are actually training on their own in different places, in different countries, paying their own money, taking care of their health, feeding their families, and their families expect that they are representing the government of our country. So there's no excuse for you to come home and your nephews and nieces are coming, auntie, this and that, and you can't meet up to that obligation. It should be the people who are in charge.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying the team.
Budgets were made for this.
Don't get me wrong.
Beginning of this year, there was a budget for this. And do you want to answer your question? These competitions are all on the calendar. They are all marked. They are not emergencies.
They are
marked up.
At the
That's my
beginning
point.
of the year, you
That's
see
my
every
point.
sport in their calendar. The championship they will attend from January.
So there's no provision for this.
Yes. No. So that's my point. I'm not saying that the players themselves, but then our federation, if it's our volleyball federation, somebody should be penalized to this effect.
Sure.
She would be penalized. And in fact, this is a big. I think this is a big yardstick or a big cry for private. Let this thing come out.
It's an embarrassment on the entire nation.
If you can't stand the heat, stay out of the kitchen. Get out. Let government pull out. Let private people who have the passion, who have the desire for this thing to move forward, do the same. I mean, we reported about the Nigerian bobsledding team that's being sponsored by Visa. Yes. In the US.
And now after we reported, now every media in Nigeria is carrying them and celebrating them.
Exactly. Now we're jumping. We should just take
people didn't even know about the fact that these girls had done all this in the US and were going to
on
the
their
Olympics
own
because we didn't expect to be represented.
They got their own sponsorship. They're moving on. I think it should just be that.
I agree with what you're saying, but you can only get the sponsors when you have the right people in the right place.
No sponsor wants to invest his money where
somebody that don't know what the language that is being spoken there. He doesn't know what it means. He doesn't even know how to sell his product. Sports is a product.
It is.
When you have somebody that knows about sports, when he talks to you about sports,
you become
invested. You want to invest. But when you bring somebody that don't even know what sports is all about, what will he tell you? And will convince you. Now I just made I rightly said that when I went to the stadium yesterday morning, I saw 50 children. I'm a father. I could go there and buy pure water for them to drink because I'm impressed. You understand?
And that will motivate them.
That will motivate them. Somebody could come there and say, I have these T-shirts for my company. Let me give them. Let them wear it. You understand? All these things are part of, encouraging sports. When the situation whereby you sit in your office, it's only taking AC and then entering executive cars and then
collecting your DTA.
DTA and whatever.
I have divergence opinion. What is the social responsibility of all these mega industries that we have in this country? I think government should look at it from this angle. Instead of them to be budgeting huge amount of money for these athletes or the sport that we have in this country, out of the tax that they are getting from these industries, they just set aside
a waiver.
Yes, for them that okay, you go to this sport instead of you to pay like 1 million naira, for example, take 300,000 naira. You support volleyball. from your own company, instead of you to pay 2 million naira, take 500,000 from the one you will pay, then use it to support this sport. I believe with that, it will help our sport.
But then, D1, what you're saying, that's the standard practice around the world. But then, the Oga Aminu said something, D1. It has to be something that, somebody needs to sell this. This is a corporate company. They have a corporate responsibility. I agree with you. Now, you delegate, you're already collecting that tax from them. Agreed. But you cannot then give them a directive of who to sponsor, what to sponsor, because it's their brand they're also looking at. Now, let me give you a good example. Football is the most popular sport in the world. Of course, more sponsors are going to be attracted towards that.
Not in India.
But, I agree with you. Not in India. I agree with you. But then, it's the popularity of the sport. Everybody is that big business. They want to be in the place that is bubbling, that's happening. But you need, like Oga Aminu said, you need that one person who knows the sport, who can push and drive and sell that sport. Sell it and give it that popularity. Now, my point is still this. I think government, obviously government has an obligation, but government, of course, is failing in this regard. If you can have the right people in the right place to sell this brand, corporate sponsors will come in. And then government can create that avenue towards funding towards that thing. Maybe certain tax breaks, like D1 said, certain tax breaks. Okay, we're going to cut, we won't tax you. If we're taxing you 20%, we'll tax you 10%. The other side of the revenue, you can use it towards pushing it, but it has to come from both sides. You have to have a good brand ambassador, somebody who understands it, people in the right position who understand the beauty of this sport and can sell this sport, and then government on its own also release its hold, its stranglehold, because I can't understand how you have a calendar, have a full calendar, you know what competitions are coming up, you've budgeted for said competitions, and you have a situation where you have only 6 people to go for a competition that requires 20, at least 20.
And nobody will be punished for that?
Come on.
No.
Come on.
A lot is wrong.
Yeah, Ted, Abuchi was not on the day we had that program.
Yes.
When Coach Tony called in.
Yes.
Tony made a reference with a tournament that they were going for
in South Africa.
Yes.
Even though you refused to tell us, he told us that you were the DG. Let me lay the card. Anyway, it's not a secret any longer. Coach Tony said it here on the program. That it was late, almost a day to them traveling. They didn't have any funds. They had to run to DG, and lo and behold, they ran around and rallied around using their personal funds to put together to make sure that this thing is so. He couldn't hold it when he called online. I just felt a proud Nigerian trying to say thank you again to another Nigerian, wishing more people like that are in top places. Sorry, sir, I cut you.
It's exactly what I wanted to say. So I agree with you 100%, Buchi. Bring the people that knows what it is. Take care of sports. Definitely will not be shouting, saying things that we are not meeting up to championship, going to championship with 7 players.
It's exactly
a championship that is supposed to be attended by at least 20 players.
This is a Stadium of Human Rights Radio, 101.1 FM, redefining broadcasting. You can be a part of this conversation. Are you angry? Are you sad? Or you have a contribution that will make us happier and make the country better? Call 081-89-99-1011. That is 081-89-99-1011. Oga Aminu, we have spoken so much about the bad part. Let's go to the part now. Handball. FCT Handball League was on, even though we didn't cover it in details. We also have been there at the venues to watch what, probably to go with our microphones, cameras, to give a boost to this course. But of course, the next one we'll have to make sure we get in touch. Yeah, we can stop. How did he go? Okay, somebody's on the line here. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the stadium. Call dropped. Please call again unless you are as far away as Zimbabwe. Try to call us. We'll get your call. How did the competition go, sir?
Yeah, the competition ended well yesterday.
Oh, it's over?
Yeah, it's over. It ended yesterday at the Old Parade Ground because it was FCT Handball Home and Away League, which was put together by Owecho Benjamin.
Yes. That's an individual.
Yes, popularly known as Pablo. Support of other people. Tournament ended yesterday at the Old Parade Ground. It was a very, very
great event.
One of my worries still again, sir. I'm looking at the winners here. Let me come back to the winners again. Let me pick this up first of all. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the stadium. What is happening? If you are in Anambra, you are trying to call, please turn down the volume of your radio. You might not hear because results are still coming out, and you might not hear us. Or get away from the polling booth or the collection center so that we can have good. I'm looking at the winners here, especially from the female category. The first position is Safety Babes. That's FRSC. Second position is Civil Babes. The first one, they are very safe. Second, they are very civil. The third position goes to VIO Babes. I'm not seeing any, like you said the other time, that there's no privately funded handball club in Nigeria. And even locally in Abuja here, this is not at the national level. In Abuja here, we still have them at the local. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. Welcome to the stadium.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, what's your name and where you're calling from? My name is Ted. Buchi is here. Uncle Ibrahim is here.
Yeah.
Aziwan is here.
My name is Austin Adamu. I'm calling for Joa.
Oh, Mr. Austin Adamu, thanks for joining the conversation. Yeah. Make your contribution,
So
please.
what the contribution I want to contribute about this Nigeria football matches?
Yes.
The person that understands the football, let them put that person there to take care of all those people that Nigeria will go more far than before. Because if they put somebody in the football, how the people, I know what he's going to do there.
Okay.
They don't know what to go to do there. Let them put person note about football,
okay,
so that Nigeria football will come back to the normal.
Okay.
So that is my contribution.
Mr. Austin Adamu, thank you very much for your contribution.
Yeah.
Just the same point we are making, sir. Let them put somebody who knows about not just football. Even though he referred to football, we're talking about other sports. So, sir, Uncle Ibrahim, back to the question. We only have, even Abuja here, can't we get one corporate body to sponsor? I'm just saying, okay, Safety Babes, Civil Babes, VIO Babes, 1, 2, 3 respectively. In the male category, you have Civil Defense, you have Safety Shooters, and you have Prison T-Boys. 1, 2, 3 respectively as winners, first position, second position, and third position. No private company like Kwaminu Construction, Digas. I'm just giving you a business name now. You have to pay for that.
Yes, yes. Like what Buchi rightly said.
Yes.
If we can waive and D1,
yes,
can waive taxes from this corporate organizations that they are supposed to pay 100% tax to government, and then they are paying like 20% to the government. Then they use the other 20% to sponsor 14 clubs. We'll get a lot of them because it's a relief from what they are paying. If you're supposed to pay 100% and they tell you to pay 60%, for example, or let's say 40%, you're having 60% to yourself. You decide on what to do. You can decide to use 20% to run a sporting club.
Okay.
So I believe if the government will do that, they will even ease the burden that is on them.
Okay. You are welcome to the stadium.
Yeah, this is Precise on the line.
Okay, Precise, make your contribution. This is the stadium.
It's a welcome development so far. Sports. Or any
Could you please adjust the volume of your radio set? We're having a feedback. Adjust the volume.
Okay now.
No, it's not okay. It's still noisy here.
Yes, I say that sports or any sporting event in Nigeria is sports that gives a lot of people happiness and sense of belonging in the society.
Yes.
Irrespective of our culture and our political and religious affiliation and connotation. In this country, government has a lot of obligation to play.
Yes.
Why am I saying so? They should be able to bring people who know what it takes to handle football, to handle any sporting event,
yes,
to be at the helm of the office of the position. So that it will bring a lot of force, honor, and also dignity to every news and chronic of this society called Nigeria.
Okay.
In this event, let's say, Peter be paid according to what belongs to Peter, and let Paul be paid what belongs to Paul. Let us stop robbing Peter to pay for, or robbing Paul to pay Peter.
Okay.
So that everybody will have interest.
Okay.
In bringing out his incentives and also his mechanism and also philosophy and orientation, so that we will restore the lost glory of the football or the sporting event.
Okay.
That Nigeria was able to participate internationally.
Yes.
And intercontinentally.
Yes.
I don't have more time. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Austin, for your contribution. he made a very one salient point I could pick away from there is the fact that it's the same thing everybody is saying, the right people in the right places. And that the effort of the person that made Nigeria to participate at that event has gone in vain, probably because the person is not even the one responsible for these mistakes we are pointing out here. But I think there's a hierarchy and a structure of communication in all these commissions, even though, of course, there are no commissions again. Maybe if sports commissions were in place of this, because at that stage, when you have qualified, you're supposed to go through a process of preparation, logistics, and everything is taken into. How many jerseys were budgeted for? For 20 players. 7 were used. Where are the rest? How many boots? The kits, entire kits. Who sponsored the kits? First aid. All these things must be in place. First of all, for you to be accepted to participate in the competition internationally. So internationally, we have submitted the standards, and we have submitted that we have made the standards. Be allowed to come and participate. Did you enter through the back door to go for this volleyball? It's absurd to me. It sounds, even the continental organizers of the tournament, I will question them if they allowed us to participate if we didn't meet the standards.
Exactly.
Noted. They are now, the International Federation has given Nigeria a warning, a last warning, that they will just allow them to participate in this tournament. But they shouldn't try it the next time, that they are going to ban Nigeria from attending tournament like that, because it's risky.
Very risky.
It's very risky. You can't subject 7 players or 6 players to play 8 matches or 10 matches
In a space of
what
very,
20
very,
people
very
are supposed
few
to play.
days.
If any player goes down in the court of play, what happened? You didn't go with any medical thing.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to the stadium.
Yes, you are speaking with Mr. Sampson, sir.
Mr. Sampson, are you listening to what we are discussing here?
No, I'm not yet listening, but I got the number online when I was online day before yesterday.
Okay. We are discussing that the Nigerian female volleyball team went to the Nations Cup with only 7 players. They were supposed to go with 20 players. They only went with 7 players. No doctor, no cook. And they came second to the last. Only defeated Cape Verde Island, one country that everybody defeated. We came back second to the last. And people are expecting us to clap for those who are in charge of sports in this country.
Sorry, what I wanted to explain is the debt that people owe me. I don't know, maybe it depends on the topic you're sharing, but I noticed you help people to realize their debt.
Okay, are you a football player that a club is owing you debt, or a football coach? Are you an athlete that a club is owing you debt, or a football coach somewhere? We'll take up that if that is the case.
No, not about football. I'm a businessman. I'm a contractor. I work for somebody to pay me balance becomes a problem.
Okay. You need to call on Monday in the morning during the Brekete family program from 7:30 to 9 o'clock, or 4 o'clock in the evening to speak with the ordinary president to explain to him the details of what your complaint is. All right?
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much for calling, Mr. Sampson.
Okay.
Yes. Gentlemen, we'll be talking about most of these games, and Ibrahim, if we keep the money, we will not get out of here today. But overall, the competition, the female, the handball in the city, what's your overall evaluation? Was it a very good exhibition?
Yeah, it was a very good exhibition because those players have been training from January to almost end of the year before the organizer now come up with this idea of let's test the players' performance, because Nigeria is going to be participating in the Nations Cup in January. So let's keep them busy so that they will be match fit. They shouldn't be match rusty when they go to. It's a very good development, and the guy did very well, and I really give kudos to him. God will replenish his pocket where he will to sponsor the tournament, and also to the players.
Now, is it the national team player that really competed in that particular thing? When you are mentioning the fact that you want them to be fit to represent Nigeria, what of other players that we have in other part of the country? Do you mean there's only this set of players that we will take along with us whenever we have any competition?
Do you have any players somewhere that you know?
No. He's making a point, Ted. I agree with him.
Yes.
Because he knows the way handballers are splitted around the country. The bulk of handball players now in Nigeria are in paramilitary, military, and the police. Okay. And that is why most of the players are here. They are either in prisons, road safety, or civil defense, or any other team. So that is why I make mention of that. Like, if you're going to get like 20 players that are supposed to be in the national team are here.
Okay.
So, and we have like 30 in camp. So 10 are coming from other teams like Kano and other. So bulk of the players are here. So that is why I said they are competition fit.
We are going to be in Central Africa for the actually Gabon or Congo.
Yes,
I keep
Gabon.
mixing the two
Gabon.
of them. Congo. Do you see the national coach keeping an eye on this competition to see if there's one or two players here that you add to the list you have? Or how many players are we supposed to take to Gabon?
We're supposed to take 20 if
20.
there's fun. If there's no
There's
fun,
we'll go with
we'll
7.
do with 5 together. We can go with 10.
Do you think any player, based on what your observation of the tournament, is there any player here you think is worth being on the bench for the Nations Cup? At least you understudy the senior ones as a way of stepping in their career.
Yes, we have. We have, and the coach has taken. Is going to invite them to the camp and even take some to Nations Cup if there's availability that they can take more players.
This competition was actually privately sponsored, like you said. Did he enjoy support from other sources like people like you, the legends, and a couple of support from corporate bodies?
Yeah, he enjoys some support from friends, not corporate bodies. Friends and well-wishers. And
But do you have any concerns about that?
No, I mean, this is a step in the right direction. This is a combination of what we're talking about. People who have the passion and drive to support the sport. You know, kudos to him to actually going out of his way, going above and beyond as a true patriot and a true aficionado or somebody who's passionate about the game to organize this kind of competition and also to enlighten, bring back our youth towards, enlightening them about something like this that's out there, diverting that focus on football. I mean, these are the kind of people that should be encouraged. These are the kind of people that we actually look for towards heading that maybe the Handball Federation, or these are the kind of people that you want in positions who are able to sell, who have that passion and drive to push for the sport and actually sell it out to other people. So this is where now government can actually step in and partner and
this is not the right time for government to step in. You know why?
You
why?
You don't get my point.
I understand your point, but let me tell you why. I wouldn't even want government to get into sports now at this point. Elections are around the corner.
Of course. They
are going to use it to gain a lot of votes, campaign and gain a lot of votes for themselves. Some of them who are hearing us by use the advantage of the fact that we're talking about this issue.
Yes.
And they'll step in. Tomorrow I come here to report that the governor of so state has done this, not knowing that he's vying for a return to the office and he's doing all those good things. Not for the love of the game, the sport itself, but for the fact that the youth hold the majority of the votes in this country and they will use that leverage, get themselves back into office. As soon as that is done, closed.
No, but my point is, like, this person, like this individual now, who went out of his own way to organize this kind of competition should be encouraged. And just like D1 said, some sort of policy from government, not just, I'm not saying a politician power, but some sort of policy to help further encourage other people who might also have the funding and who have that passion for other sports, handball, judo, fencing, rugby, whatever it be, who have that passion to also step up and come out. Because of course it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage and a lot of passion to make that kind of move towards better. It's not looking at some kind of profit margin, but he's doing it for the pure love and passion of the game. Yes. It takes a lot of pressure, and it takes a lot of courage. Yes. And people like that should be encouraged. They should be encouraged in the sense that they should be given that space, that freedom to actually, if now they want to push it a bit further, they can partner with a larger corporation or something like that towards and growth.
One of the problems is that I know our country. I may not say I've been around so long, but I've been around as short as I've been around. I've noticed a lot of things. I can boldly say people like that will never be allowed to head federations of those particular sports.
Of course.
Because they'll block all the loopholes that are exit points for all these funds.
Exactly.
Because they'll use funds for what the funds are
in an ideal world, yes, yeah.
So we're still battling to, if you got that information, would have given us now. We're still battling, trying to get across to even our colleagues in the media inside there to get the exact figures that were located for sports.
Yes.
For sports, this current budget, you don't have that. I don't know.
Recently, I think last week, there is a particular clinic organized in Lagos State, and they went ahead to get player for beach for Nigeria beach soccer that will be coming up. We have Copa Lagos that will be coming up by this December, and they went to places like Badagry, Ilupeju, Oshodi, Lagos State to pick players that will represent us. What we usually do is to just pick a national team player like Bartolome Bilegbu, the one we refer to as Mosquito, Isiaka Olawale, and others. They are the players that have been playing for long for Nigeria, but coach Adamu Ejo just came up and said, okay, what I'm going to do is for me to go to where we don't even know these players at all, kids, secondary school players, and he picked them. You saw them where they were playing this sand football for Badagry, and he went there and picked players, and they are going to, it's going to be the first time that a club will represent Nigeria in Copa Lagos, and it will come up by next month in Lagos State. And see Asisa Toshola as well, with a clinic and foundation. She launched that foundation, and she went to different primary schools in Lagos State and picked young players that can represent this country, and he trained them on the rudiment of football. And somebody like that, she's challenging her money, the one that she has garnered over there, to make sure that he really train players. Not that, see someone like, we need to encourage her, but others, they will just look at it that this money is from government. We know how to manage it, and at the end of the day, they will put it in the leaking pocket.
Exactly.
Well, gentlemen, this is the Stadium on Human Rights Radio, 101.1 FM, redefining broadcasting. This is 101.1 million capacity stadium, second to none in the world. If you doubt the records and the figure, go online and check Human Rights Radio Stadium. What's the capacity? The figures. If you want to see how the stadium looks like, go on YouTube, go on Facebook, go on Twitter. Of course, that there. People's personal Twitter pages, accounts as well. You might see pictures of this program. I asked you earlier to go online and tell us who is with which microphone, who is wearing what headset, and who is wearing what top. Of course, I already gave you a clue because Okwamino and Diwan are wearing some clothes that are different from the rest. My clothes is different. Cheese on is different. You might just get it. We'll give a voice to that. We might have to take a very short break. When we return from the break, we'll definitely give you some rundown from other games, especially the game of football. But before we go on that break shortly, Buchi, I want you to have a final stand, or I want to know where you stand. Kofi and Dimitri, you deal like this. I understand what you do. There's a way you do things. I know the outcome. Later you change your mouth, like as if you want to.
Do you want an Uncle Amino, my witnesses? Yeah, I've said golfing. And I have not changed my stance.
I'm writing it down now, Buchi golfing.
Bring Biro, let me write it on my head.
I'm putting it down.
Let me write it here now.
Buchi golfing.
Golfing. I said golfing.
Buchi is golfing.
Yeah.
Uncle Aminu is giving it to Dimitrov.
He wants to swing me because you know why he's doing that, which is because D1 said at the other side. So he said he's not going alone.
So he wants to swing. Don't mind Ted. Ted is the swing state, the swing vote.
Anyway, shortly before we go on a break, I just remember something. If I don't raise it, I will forget to ask Uncle Aminu. How is the preparation for the World Cup in handball? I forgot to ask that key part so that we don't end up condemning when the handball team goes and comes back and will start shouting and shouting. How is it been so far? When will the players go to camp, or have they camped? What is the state of involvement of the welfare of the players? What right now? And then bonuses. What's the provision of bonuses? What about the foreign players, logistics, and everything? What's the plan now? Because the earlier we plan, the better.
This question is supposed to go to the president. Because
if we go there, you say we should ask a sports minister.
Yeah.
Go to the sports minister, you must say we should ask the president.
This question is supposed to go to the president of the federation, who is the person in charge of the preparation of the, and how he has gone with the Ministry of Youth and Sports, if they are responding to him on. So, but what I know, that the players had a camp last month, 1 month camping before they break camp, and they are supposed to resume in this November. So the president of the Handball Federation or the technical director will be better positioned. Question.
But I want to know, is it best for us to camp in Nigeria prepare for this competition since we are going to, or should we camp in a nearby country? We actually go to a country that has an weather that is close to the camp there and come. Because sometimes these things play a factor.
Well, for me, better camp outside Nigeria. Why? Because you can count indoor halls that we have in Nigeria. one we have at the National Stadium here, which is the government-owned indoor. The basketball has taken other place since 2015.
Okay, so it's supposed to be used by every
all
indoor
event, handball, volleyball, basketball. But basketball came in 2015 and put their wooden floor. And the size of handball court is 20 by 40, where basketball is 15 by 30. So they've reduced the size. Yes, so handball cannot use that.
And the floors, handball cannot even use the floor.
Yes, they can't use the floor, yes. So you don't have any indoor hall to use. And the lightning, if you don't use an indoor hall, like in Lagos, they train outdoor. So when they go to the tournament, it's indoor. And the lightning are so powerful that you can even see the goalkeepers complaining.
Because you see the one ball, you see 10.
They will see the light is bright.
You see 10 balls, and then you say the other team is using magic.
Yes, so
somebody is here on the line. Let me pick this call. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the stadium. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the stadium. This call is obviously not for us. But that's a very disturbing thing. The stadium was built during Koja. If the indoor hall was meant for all sports, I thought there should be provision for one sport to use and give way for the other sports to use. But like they use in Nigerian language, you want sport don't color be the place to the test, like, and nobody's asking questions. So that means obviously some teams have been displaced.
Not. Only the volleyball that can manage the court and the basketball, but handball cannot use.
Boring. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the stadium.
Good evening, sir.
Welcome to the stadium. My name is Ted. What's your name, sir?
I know, Ted. Happy Sunday.
Pardon?
I said, I know, Ted. Happy Sunday. Good evening.
Happy Sunday to you. Yes, good evening. I am here. Buchi is here.
Valentine.
Yeah, sure. I thought so too. Wava will call when there's a favorable result. How is your day?
Thank God. How is Buchi?
Buchi is fine. He's right here smiling.
Oga Val, I salute you.
Oga Aminu is here and D1 is here as well. It's a full house. It's a full stadium. Hello, Val. Hello, Mr. Val.
I think the celebration is just
this West Ham fan. Don't do this. There's a West Ham fan on the network that's trying to. Hello, Val.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Okay, it's like they warned you 1 minute remaining.
No, I'm a customer to NTM. They don't cut my call.
Okay. All right, Val, make your contribution. Go on, we're listening.
Okay, well, first I want to congratulate all the best top four in England.
Okay.
They tried that the weekend. You can see Chelsea win the match.
Yes.
Manchester, Man City, and Arsenal.
Yes.
At least they tried and give me 10,000 naira like that bet.
wow.
Okay. You're a selfie supporter.
So I want to tell them, let them continue. But at the end of the game, let them step down a little for Manchester to carry the cup this
Okay. That's fine. Just to let you know that Leeds United also won. That's my club. Leeds United won. They beat Middlesbrough 2-1 at home. So I'm also happy.
Okay, thank you very much. But on our own issue, I want to ask a question.
Yes.
Sorry, I don't know whether it's going to look as if an insult, but I don't mean that.
Okay.
Maybe they say that the words are not bad, the word is not spoken yet.
Okay.
This young man that always put this Mafian ballet. I don't know whether he's an NFF chairman or is this Minister of Sports.
Okay. Yes, he's somebody. He's somebody who's youth development, including sports. Redefining Broadcasting. You are in the second hour of the program. My name is Ted. Talking sports is what I do best. Not alone here. Of course, I'm with Buchi, who just stepped out now to answer a call from the FIFA president. I don't know what they're discussing on the phone. D1 is here and Uncle Aminu is here. We've been discussing a lot of sports in Nigeria. We reported to you the fact that Nigeria's national female volleyball team went to the Champions of African Nations, which is supposed to actually Nations Cup, the female version. We're supposed to go with 20 players. They got there with 7 players. Oh. 7th player was actually the huge monies have been allocated for that purpose in this country in a budget that is almost don't chop and finish. Somebody should be held accountable for that. We're asking questions because this is a feature they are joking with. We have to know. Handball national team will go into Gabon, the championship as well, Nations Cup in Gabon. Put it to Oga Aminu, I asked him how many players are supposed to go there. He said 20. The Oga, you sure say that 20 Federation will carry go be. He used that same language. You say if funds are available. Once you start using that language, you know that there's something wrong somewhere. But we are calling out on you corporate bodies out there. D1 suggested to government should give some waiver on taxes instead of leaving huge sums on corporate individuals and organizations. They should slash the taxes and say, okay, we are going to monitor you. Use this part of your tax to fix this and this sport in Nigeria. Might be big, might be small, depends on the sport. It sounds like a good idea, but square peg in a round hole, I never hear that, or a round hole in a square peg, a lot of loopholes that might not work. It's not only negativity. We live in this country, we believe that someday soon, because youths are standing up now to ask for their rights. In some countries, it's a little bit violent. Of course, we don't see that here. Some places, there are cards to vote out some of those people. Maybe someday in Nigeria, you might just become government. Maybe things will change. We're talking sports on the stadium. Here, before we went on the break, we gave you the phone numbers. You can be a part of this conversation from the beginning. 081 89 99 1011. Do not insult anybody, no matter how you hate the person's cat or hat. Do not insult anybody if he's wearing slippers and you're wearing canvas or trainers. Here we are civil and we are decent and we are disciplined. Talk about the matters, not the people. D1, let's go to football. Aminu, of course, is a lovely football supporter as well. Doesn't identify with any club so that it doesn't cry when the stand out part. But D1, Copa Lagos, the annual beach football that takes place in Lagos, because nobody ever thought that Lagos will have that kind of competition. In fact, the kind of big teams across the world that long to come to Lagos. The government has been doing well so far. All the ones I have witnessed, the government has also tried with the few sponsors that they have, try to put in a lot of fanfare to make these players, some of these countries, come in and play their talents on sand. Football without boots, football on sand. 5-a-side converted into beach soccer in a standard way. The 5-a-side we used to play on the streets on environmental sanitation days, converted into beach soccer that is massive. Even World Cup, Nigeria has represented us a lot of times. We participate, but somehow, sometimes it doesn't work the way we want. But then Lagos have been having it. What is going to happen this time around? Because it's starting next month. Okay, it will be a club representing Nigeria.
It's going to be a club.
Not the national beach team now.
National Beach Eagle that will be representing us, Sand Eagle.
But
at the
club
same time, we still have another club. Like we have in other countries, like Barcelona, Sand Eagle. Also, we have them. We have the one that is for Arsenal as well. And we have other club sides all over the world that they have their Sand players. But it's only in this country that we have just only Sand Eagle players. That's But now there is a particular one that I mentioned. It's called Giddy Shark. Giddy Shark is just like as we have Las Giddy. The way we refer to Lagos State as Las Giddy.
So you mean it's a team from Lagos?
It's a team from Lagos, and it comprises of all these young players picked from different parts of Lagos State, and they are going to represent Nigeria. Apart from the Sand Eagle that we have over there, we have other clubs across the world that will also come down to Nigeria to compete with themselves in Copa Lagos, and it's always a fun-filled competition in which, apart from the competitive aspect of it, they will bring in musicians as well that come and thrill the audience, and that one also drag many people into the beach to watch a good football at the end of the day, and it will also serve as a preparatory method for them to prepare ahead for any CHAN competition that we or for any sand competition that we may have in the future. And it's going to be a great thing because we have sponsors coming in to sponsor the competition. We have, I don't want to be mentioning them so that we will not be advertising.
Yes, let them come here.
But we have,
over the years, I've seen that it has been the same kind of players that have gone to competition when it comes to beach soccer. For Nigeria, usual suspects start from John Gadi, which is famously called Coco, the goalkeeper. We have Isaka. We have the Mosquito Ibenebu.
Yes.
These are regular players that no matter how the team is twitched, that you will find them there. I will not find any replacements for these players.
I think what you're supposed to do, like what we usually mention on the program, is that we like fire brigade approach. But I believe with this type of competition, bringing in young players, we should have replacement at the end of the day. But the pathetic part of it is that all these players that we have playing for us in any big competition, they still have their club side here in Nigeria that they play for. They will play week in, week out for their clubs, and when it is time for them to play the sand competition as well, they will still be the set of players. Why can't have a competition like league that has to do with the sand football, and we have from each, we have Port Harcourt, River State, we have water surrounding all different parts of this country.
You all have a caller on this now, even though it's private. Let's find out who's here. Good evening and welcome to the stadium.
Hello?
Good evening, welcome to the stadium. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
They call me. I'm not getting money.
Oh, I think this call is for you.
So, like what I'm trying to say is that
yes,
the way it is now, we have club side. The way we have the one that play on the top. If you can have players as well, yes, organizing competition from different parts of the country. We go to Cross River, we go to River State, even in Abuja here. We
let me come to Okwaminu. Okwaminu, D1 is making a point there about the fact that truly, yes, like he said, we have even in Gombe, we have a river that when it rains heavily, it causes flood for some people. Even in the north, we have rivers. Problem of flood that affects people, and most of these rivers have, but not be those very beautiful beaches that you see in Latin America, but they have enough sand. By the way, most of these competitions are played on sand that is set, not just as by the seaside, but actually there are pitches that are designed. Do we have the natural resources? Let me go to do we have the natural resources for us to be able to start thinking towards having a beach competition in terms of beaches, in terms of facilities? Yes, in terms of facilities, I know in terms of personnel, we do have. In terms of facilities, property on ground, can we afford to run a competition like this and attract sponsors or foreign? Because it seems like let me link it to polo and golf. It seems like a relaxed sport where you just relax. Referees usually comes during holiday. Have to go out. We have the capacity. Beach soccer.
Well, actually, Nigerians, we are all. I love this country. We are
I
always good in whatever we want to do. If really we want to do it, we can. Just like what D1 said, we have water surround Nigeria. So, and you said it doesn't have to be by the beach.
Yes.
If you go to Maiduguri, all this town is sandy. Maiduguri is sandy like a desert. In Sokoto, you have places that are like that. Katsina, you have places like that. Even in Kano, some part of Kano, you have places like that. So if we can really put it in place, we'll go. Because Nigerians, when they want to do something, they do it, and they do it very well.
You went out to answer a call from Infantino. I don't know what you guys discussed. We're not interested in. You're not interested in knowing. I know you are discussing something about Russia 2018.
Yes,
whatever it is, when it comes, you let us know. When you stepped out, we were talking about the Copa Lagos that is coming up Lagos next month, and D1 is raising the fact that he thinks we should have a league because we have a lot of water. Even if the northern sand is not as wet as they expected, of course the Chad Basin does have that, and other places. We could actually bring some very good players up there, down to other leagues, somewhere downtown too. Do we have the skilled players? Playing on beach is different from playing on not off.
Of course.
Even though, funny enough, we're seeing people like Isiaka and Mosquito play Imba, switch to play beach soccer. Amazing talent, I must say. But do we have the players that can execute?
No, I think I have to agree. I think a league, especially with an event as big as a Copa Lagos, you should have for beach soccer. And beach soccer isn't, like you said, it's not something that is necessarily played each side or it's sand. It's the course, it's the nature. The earth is sand, and it's different from playing on grass or playing on concrete. So yes, we should have some sort of established league. We have desert areas like have places up north that are actually sandy.
Dambe is actually fought on sand.
Dambe is fought on sand. Yes. You can even create these artificial sort of play areas with that kind of sand because of the nature.
Or instead of beach soccer, we can even call it Sahara soccer.
That's another good.
Yes.
Maybe Savannah soccer, something like that. Yes. I think we do need that, especially so we can groom more people. We can attract more people within that field. We can get more players within that field. We can also have our national wider selection. So yes, I have to agree with that. It's something that is, I think, even in other regions of the world, there are teams. There are actual leagues and teams in soccer.
All right, G1, quickly before we come back to matches that were played. I know Valentine is waiting to attack again because Arsenal benefited from that goals. And and West Brom has officially welcomed David Moyes back to what it
to Moyes' ways.
To his
I won't say winning ways. I'll say Moyes' ways.
Moyes' ways by humbling them. Of course, at the Victory Road 2-0, the game is over. But do you want the draws were made? The draws were made. That was the day before yesterday. Which just we'll talk about this within the week. Just give us a groups standings. Which group do? Are we in a group of death?
I think anytime we refer to our group as group of death, we always come out because we are just like cats with 7 lives, and we know how to iron things out. But in Group A, the competition will be coming up next year. In Group A, we have Morocco, Mauritania, we have Guinea and Sudan. While in Group B, we have Ivory Coast, Namibia, Uganda, and Zambia. In Group C, which is a Nigeria group, we have Libya, Nigeria, Rwanda, Equatorial Guinea. While the last group, which is Group D, we have Angola, Burkina Faso, Congo, and Cameroon. But
that's a very tough group. That last group is very tough.
Very tough. But I must tell you, the problem we are having now is that all these countries that we are going to face over there, the chunk of the players that play for their national team, they are playing in their local
domestic league. Yes.
Why here in Nigeria, we have just only Ikechukwu Ezewa, that is a local player, quote and unquote, representing us at the Super Eagle, the national team. But others that they will still parade their national team players, and the same player will play in Chan. Yes. But here we need to assemble players from our local, and now our league will start by next year January. Another leagues in Africa.
That is if all things work well, G1.
Yes.
Don't pin it down that the league will start in January, because by the time it's January we'll have a press release that due to logistics and this and that, the league will start in February. It might end up starting in March.
No, I think the way it is now, they are structured on ground, and it will start by January 14. And before then, by next month,
we'll clap for the LMC if that comes to pass.
I think the way it is now, they are ready and they mean business. By next month, we'll be having, instead of Super 4, which is the clubs that will represent us in the continent, from next season, they've improved it to Super. Let's call it Super 6 now. Yeah. We are going to have Aqua United, we have MFM, we have Plateau United, we have Chan, Igu that will represent us, and they've drafted in Canopy as well, that will join them, so that they have 6 club sides that will compete and prepare them ahead of what they will encounter in continent comes next year. But I think that's not the major preparation that we're supposed to have.
Okay. But D1, I wanted to ask, what about the Wafu Cup Ghana?
Yes.
Yeah, those are primarily made up of our local home-based talents. Can't we? I mean, they were impressive. We have to give them credit. I mean, they were first runner-ups. They made it to the. Of course, they were humbled by Ghana. I mean, yes, other teams who have a strong league base, and then there's strong league base, which is play these kind of competitions while they have the international squad. Can't we focus on that? Do you see any signs or possibilities that maybe that same squad from Wafu competition would be the ones geared towards? And
the problem we are having now is that most of these players, they are looking up for greener pasture.
Of course.
Many of them, they want to go out there and look for a better club side, quote and unquote, outside the country.
Because of the same things we have been talking about here. if handball, for example, handball is lucrative out there and they have good agents that can lead them. Most of the handball players you are seeing training at the national, give them three weeks. They'll be playing in Spain, in Serbia, in countries that have Israel, countries that have serious leagues that they will develop their career. So I don't blame these players at the end of it, or I don't blame them. The structure on ground doesn't encourage them to stay. That's one of the problems.
But I believe in our subsequent program, we talk in-depthly about how these players will perform when the competition eventually starts by next year.
Okay. All right. When the competition starts next year, D1 is hopeful. D1 is believing that there will be a lot of changes and things to change. But I'm going to go into something different, because games were played yesterday and games have been played today and games will still be played. D1, let's start from the game yesterday between Arsenal and who did they even play? D1 doesn't want to say it because it's his club. But yesterday Arsenal played Tottenham Hotspur. It was a North London derby. We all expected that it was going to be a very big game because of the form of Tottenham Hotspur and the sluggish nature that Arsenal has been playing this season, was struggling to get to where they are and all that. But surprisingly, Arsenal won that game. They won 2-0. Of course, Tottenham is not very happy. They are not agreeing with the result. The result stands. Nothing can be changed. Arsenal has gotten their 3 points and jumped up the table basis. But there were three controversies in that game yesterday that produced. First controversy was the tackle by Sanchez on Sanchez. Of course, both teams having Sanchez. One is a defender, one is a striker. Sanchez supposedly winning the ball, and the referee Mike Dean pointing to the spot. I mean, for a spot kick, not penalty actually, giving a spot kick which was played. Then Mustafi positioned himself, ran in behind the defenders at the point the ball was kicked, and then recovered and was onside at the point the ball was already mid-air and he was offside, and then headed the ball. The controversy there was that, was he offside? Offside, whether slightly, whether it's just your nose or any part of your body that is above the line, should be offside. Was he offside or not? It has been a talking point online today. Arsene Wenger saying it wasn't offside, citing the fact that Manchester City scored him a goal that was supposed to be offside, but it was given. So why should they look at this? I wonder why Wenger will compare two games. As a professional, he should know. If something went wrong in one game, then they should not bring it to the other game to compensate you. But he's still insisting on that. But Mustafi himself came out to say he was lucky because he knew he was offside, having watched the replay. You as an Arsenal diehard, not on the stadium now, but on the streets of Abuja, of course. I know that the club is supported. How did you see that game?
Yeah, I must say, in every sporting activities, there's always human error, and that's exactly what happened yesterday.
And like what FIFA doesn't want goal line technology. So Blatter was against it because it will make the game boring.
Yes, I'm one of the people that support goal line technology, because I think apart from making the sport to be boring, it will help us a lot to detect errors. And the way it is presently now, like the match that they played yesterday, I think they are just whipping the dead horse by looking for one excuse or the other to say maybe Arsenal won and they've garnered their 3 points now into their kitty. So whatever they like, they should continue. I'm not talking as if I'm Arsenal fan. I like good football, so I don't. And I can see that Arsenal is playing good football. Likewise, Tottenham. But Tottenham, they are really creating problem for themselves.
Yes.
Reason why I'm saying this is that they went ahead and defeated the Real Madrid, almighty Real Madrid, and any club that want to play them this time around, they will want to come with the name of saying, okay, they've defeated Real Madrid, so they see them as one of the big club side now. And I must tell you, Arsenal, they play compact football yesterday. If you look at their the midfield, yes, you discover that the like of Xhaka and others playing there, they really played very well. You see, they didn't allow Tottenham to engage themselves in free flow football that they are known for.
But despite that, Tottenham is just a point above Arsenal, and they are fourth on the table. Arsenal is still sixth on the table as it stands. And of course, you could say Arsenal played good football and Tottenham looked for a problem for themselves. But Tottenham and Arsenal, over history, it has never been anything friendly between these two clubs because they are both in North London. They are neighbors. They understand themselves. You have had players cross from one club to the other, and all that. Of course, some of the players even gave some interviews before and after the game, talking about what they expected in the game. And this is what Arsenal wanted, jumping all the way to be. Let's look at Manchester City. Who will stop these guys, Bucci?
Honestly, I don't even. Time is probably act of because these
Yeah. He had gave you a lot of space to hold the ball and arrange it
see
and
that
shoot.
goal? He had the time, he set it, and he just
Had to calculate where he was going to
the
drop
shot
it.
into the net. It was phenomenal. I mean, kudos to them right now. I'm not a Man City. Right now, these boys are playing fantastic football. They just seem unstoppable.
Okay, I mean, with Chelsea, Chelsea has been on and off. They have been having issues. And there's been a lot of talk about Jose Mourinho wanted to sign David Luiz. Also wanted to sign another player from Chelsea. I can't remember who's next that now. Real Madrid still on the heels of Eden Hazard. All the fractions of, by the way, he scored 2 goals. Chelsea played that game. They won 4-0. Massive gift for them. But the coach is a little bit unstable because the Italian position is open. The senior national manager of Italy is open. Carlo Ancelotti has been tipped to go. Where that's the media, that's the same media hyping him and dishyping him. If there's a word like that, Conte would prefer to go to PSG than probably go back to Italy because this guy is out to explore the world. Claudio Ranieri is somewhere there, another massive coach that can do it. Are these distractions coming in for Conte? Or yesterday was a proof of the fact that I am here for this team. I'm not distracted by the call for me to come home to
performance. While he's off and on.
Okay, do you want to go to let's go to Manchester United. A lot of players came back from injury. So Pogba was there. Kemi tried to do a bicicleta right position. Showed us at the knee. Came out to say lion heals lower than humans. Humans heal faster. Lions take time to heal. Making himself again, putting himself in that spotlight again. Pogba scored as well, and his contributions in the team were visible. United missing all this. His presence and Zlatan's presence, even on the bench, now inspire Lukaku to start what he.
I think kudos must be given to their coach Jose Mourinho because he really tried for them. When Pogba was not around, you discover that they have this stability in the midfield. Yes. What Matic was playing for them is attack as a defensive midfielder. He played as a defensive midfielder. But when Pogba came in, yes, he gave him chance for him to operate. Forward. And what Pogba needs is for him to be able to operate anyhow and see somebody that can stand. And you see Matic standing in front of the defenders, yes, doing the dirty job for him, and that was the reason why he was able to play good football yesterday. And you discover that Pogba is not only a player on the field of play. When they enter the dressing room as well, yes, according to Mourinho, is one of the players that always motivate other players, that let's do it. When their morale is low, he's one of the players that will tell them we can do it. Let's go ahead and win. And you saw what happened yesterday. They were down with 1 goal, and at the end of the day, they came back and they defeated their opponent. So yes, Pogba coming back is going to be a great morale booster for Manchester United because you saw what he was playing when he was at Juventus, yes, and he brought that thing in. The last season he was unable to play very well, but this time around he knew that if he doesn't play with the price tag on him, people will still be talking about it. So he wants to be to meet expectation of the yes, fans, exactly, and that is exactly what he's doing now. So I can see Manchester United at the end of the day competing with Manchester City, but like what I used to say on this stadium, by the time we enter March next year, I think we'll hand over trophy to Manchester City.
Who told you not to say that? I think it was Sulaiman. Yes. I think Sulaiman told you not to say that.
He said so, but I think as the months go by and watching Man City, I think I'm more and more inclined to right now. They've just been rolling over. I think I was with friend to the Austin Pablo, saying that as a die-hard Liverpool, like all I could do was just laugh.
Well, they're now far, they're 5th on the table, so that's my problem. There's a caller here. Let's find out who is here. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the stadium.
I say you should call me, and you refuse to call me back.
Who is this, please? This is a radio station. This is a stadium on human rights radio.
Ted,
This is serious.
Ted.
I don't understand it.
Ted, are you sure?
And it's actually a private number. I decided to pick it. Maybe I should stop picking private numbers. Anyway, before we go out of another league, just update on the fact that the game between Grigor Dimitrov and David Goffin is on. This is the first set, and like you guys said, Goffin has broken one of his serves. Dimitrov serves, so it's 4-3 now, and Goffin is serving. So probably by the time we're out of the stadium, where we might find out exactly what is. You can join us on the. You can just be a part of the conversation by calling 081-89-99-1011. Let's go to Spain. Well, I will ask you. You have been a follower of Cristiano Ronaldo for not follow him by age, but you admire his football. You love good football, so I know that. But of recent, he has been a little bit unstable. Of course, a few days ago on this program, he came out to say he wants to win a lot of Ballon d'Or. He wants to win this one. He wants to win a lot of Ballon d'Ors. He wants to make CR7 permanent life by having 7 children. Of course, he just had, this is his 4th child, I think. He had the first one that is grown up, Cristiano Jr. He had twins a few weeks ago, and he just had a child again. So, like 3 children in the space of 5 weeks. Of course, it's different ladies. Don't think it's the same lady. So this should be about 4 children. So he has 3 more to go to complete the 7 that he wants to increase to his CR7. And is this project of having 7 children distracting him from doing his job on the pitch by scoring? Or he has not scored for a while. They played a goalless draw with Atletico de Madrid. By the way, Florentino Perez is thinking of bringing him, Antonio Griezmann, to Real Madrid. Play so that they will sell Barragate Bale to Manchester United. It's all this speculation and media hype about the marketing and everything distracting Chris. After he won the award, FIFA's best man, not be able to. What is it? What message you do send to him? Because I'm pretty sure he's watching.
Well, I believe he's getting distracted. All those things. Because if he was focused the way he used to.
It appears he has won everything, so the only World Cup left, and probably he might not even have a chance to win it.
He's scoring goals in the bedroom now.
In the other room.
And he's collecting points in the other room. Is that not important?
Actually, Real Madrid looks like a team that is in cohesion.
Yes, I agree with you.
Lackluster.
After the Tottenham defeated them, they came up. Cristiano Ronaldo mentioned something that for Zizou to allow James Rodriguez to go, Pepe to go, and you allow Alvaro Morata also to leave the club, that's exactly what is affecting them. And there's a problem between him and Sergio Ramos.
But there's a problem also between Zizou and the director of football. Yeah. Also a problem between Zizou, the director of football, and Florentino Perez. The player he wants to bring in, Florentino Perez, if he wants to sign Bucci tomorrow, if Bucci is worth 101 million, he's going to sign. Bucci will pack and leave tomorrow.
Yes.
The player he wants, he gets. Whether the coach wants the player or not. And the player he wants out of the club, he makes you let the player go by promising you that he's going to get it. Real Madrid had a lot of players that they spotted that they wanted to sign in the summer. Eventually never got them, but let go some key players. So I guess D1 maybe, I understand what you're saying, like based on what he said, but they're just trying to save face, I think. By January transfer window, maybe in January transfer window.
The problem is they don't have replacement for all these players that I just mentioned now. How will you allow quality players like them to go? And you are bringing in Asensio. Asensio is a good player, but he can't just enter So the same problem they are having now. Barcelona have once have the problem when they have Ronaldo, they have Deco, and they have Eto'o. And what they did then was for them to allow Ronaldo to go, allow Deco to go, and they left just only Eto'o to be playing there. So I think what they should do now, but the problem is they can't allow Sergio Ramos to go because Sergio Ramos will say I'm a Spanish and this is my home. You may be a superstar, but you can't just push me away from this club.
Don't forget D1 in a hurry that Raul he signed a life contract with Real Madrid, and it got to a point where Raul had to leave.
Yes, he signed. I remember that he signed a life contract, and he had I think there was another clause in his contract when other players' salary would be higher than his own salary. And I think we've passed the stage of having those kind of ridiculous contracts.
Like someone wants to disagree with you. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the stadium. Hello, good evening. This is the stadium on Human Rights Radio. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello. Yes, the network in Madrid is not very wonderful. Yeah, but you were talking about of signing contracts that make other players feel.
Yeah, no, I think signing those kind of contracts are ridiculous. Yes, I think now it's based on big money, but everybody's waiting and dreaming about that 500,000 kind of contract on our side. But signing those kind of clauses in a contract is ridiculous. If this, and it's like also essentially a business. You want to win, you want matches.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening and welcome to the stadium. My name is Ted. Buchi is here. Aminu is here, and G1 is here. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Valentine calling back.
Valentine, okay. I hope you're not talking about a red cap. Please, we're not chiefs here.
Okay, sorry, sir. That's why I said I don't mean to insult or make a statement that is not allowed.
All right, let's talk football straight off. We have a few minutes to get out of the studio, so be sharp.
Okay, this you're talking about Molio bringing, having interest of bringing Luis to Manchester.
David Louis, Bell, Griezmann, Mourinho satisfy everybody.
Yes, I don't think we need it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because from my own point of view, Man U defense is okay now. What Man U need is a good 7.
Okay.
Someone who can be playing 7. Someone like, let's say,
Ahmed Musa.
Sanchez.
Ahmed Musa is a good. Ahmed Musa is a good 7. Why are you laughing at your face? He's a very good 7. We can have him play for Man U. If he plays for Man U, that's a plus for us going to the World Cup because we have tough start. Yes, of course.
Please, I don't want Ahmed Musa. Let me make my comment, please. Ahmed Musa is a very good player, but for now, let's see.
Thank you for acknowledging that.
Where he's playing now and Nigeria.
Okay.
So we need a good 7 so that Valencia can concentrate on playing his 2 or 3. You understand me?
Okay.
Because you can, where we know that we are having problem is that 7. If you can get good sharp 7, who can be playing that wing very well, and Valencia will go back and relax and go 1 week, it will do Manchester a favor. David Luis will come and spoil Manchester completely because I don't like his kind of attitude and the way he plays football. So we don't need it. If Molino is hearing this conversation or he can convey the message to him, let him not think of bringing David Luis. Let him go and look for good 7 and bring for Manchester. So our team will be okay.
All right.
My contribution. Thank you.
Thank you, Valentine, for calling back for a second time. Gentlemen, we are almost out of time. Only before we go, the table in Spain is very interesting. Now, Barcelona is top with 34 points. Valencia, surprisingly, is on with 30 points. Real Madrid, Atletico de Madrid share the third and the fourth 4 points each. So going into the Champions League and back, of course, we'll talk about the Champions League tomorrow. Tuesday and Wednesday approach. David Moyes has been welcomed officially back to football, and Dimitrov has broken Goffin's serve. He's now 5-4, Goffin's serving. So we are probably going to see a tie break in the very first set of this game. Thank you so much, Uncle Aminu, for always being available on hand. Even when you're very busy on the court, we call you. You say, okay, you take referee, time out, 2 hours, I'll be right back. Then you go back, the game is over. And yet you smile about it and all that. It's a pleasure having you here today, sir.
Thank you very much, Ed, for
G1, thank you very much for the incisive reportage and everything. And we hope that you'll be available for next talk about the Champions League. That matches are up to qualify.
Thank you very much. Don't forget that we need to vote for Victor Moses.
Oh, sure, that's trending. I've shared that on my timeline,
so
that's going to happen.
Can win at the end of the day.
Definitely. Ambuchi, it's been a wonderful evening. That private call, I think it was meant for you. They thought you were going to be on, but this is not. Just let you know, this is not a love doctor. That comes up on Mondays at night. So we call the love doctor to fix your problems, not on the sports program, right? Thanks to Brownie out there, the producer and directing us, and thanks to Desmond in the simulcast. Thanks to our very good brother there on the server. Without you guys, we won't be able to transmit live. Thanks to all of you who called. Samson, of course, you called for a different reason, but we have to acknowledge you. Adamu, Mr. Austin, Valentine as well, and those who tried to call. Thanks again. Tomorrow again in the evening by 6:15 after the news, do this again. On behalf of everyone here, we're out.